Gentle is the rain that falls softly on the meadow. Birds high up in the trees serenade the flowers with their melodies. All see there beyond the hill the bright colors of the rainbow. Some magic from above made this day for us just to fall in love. And now I belong to you from this day until forever. Just love me tenderly and I'll give to you every part of me. Oh, don't ever make me cry through long, lonely nights without love. Be always true to me. Keep this day in your heart eternally.
Good evening, Facebook, and welcome to New York City Live Productions, Nothing But the Tea. I'm your host, Tito T. I mean, there's so many of us that love the disco classics. And thank God that we're trying to keep it alive. Mm-hmm. And it was a great, successful weekend. Vinny, where were you this weekend?
This weekend I was relaxing. Well, I was playing cards all weekend, but I didn't DJ this week. I took a weekend off for DJing.
You know, it's crazy. Vinny doesn't come on the show ever.
Ever. I'm in the because I'm getting ready for the second part of the show usually.
That's right.
Vinny's the man behind the scenes. He actually supplies a lot of the areas and things for us to do what we do. He is a great DJ. The reason why he's normally not on the panel is because he drifts a lot. You'll see as you watch this evening.
No, I leave it up to you guys. I don't mind being behind the scenes with the music. You know, when we do the show, I got to set up the music, set up the beginning for the Mixcloud show and all that stuff.
And why do you do it? Why do you do it?
I love it.
There you go.
I love it. We all do it because we love it.
Yeah.
It's in his blood.
It's in his blood.
It's in his blood. And actually, normally we do 3 weeks out of the month. We do it out of his studio.
Yes.
Which is in the hills of
Staten Island.
The Toad Hill, right?
Toad Hill.
Hill, right? Mm-hmm. And then once a month we do it here at CTV, which we're so happy to be back here.
Yes, it's like a home away from home.
Great staff, Sal behind the camera,
Rosemary's awesome.
Terry,
I mean,
Joe Bazzina, you know what I'm saying?
Is he still here?
Yeah, he's still here.
Okay.
I can't wait to be on TV. You know me.
You're right there.
Hey, how you doing? But doing the DJing on Mixcloud over here, this is great. And it's also going to be on CTV, right?
Well, we're here, CTV.
Yeah, so it'll be both.
That's it, more coffee for you.
More coffee.
Let me ask you something. There's a new place opening up that you're going to be a part of.
Yes.
Right? You do your karaoke. Mm-hmm. You also do your entertainers night on a Thursday night. Tell us about that place.
Well, actually, I've been there for 6 years with the prior ownership. And they paid me the highest compliment, the new owners, which I happen to know, so do you. And they said one of the reasons why they were interested in buying the place is because I was there, which was a great compliment. And they changed the decor, they changed some of the things on the menu, but it's still the family-style place that is there. And it's really, really great. And they're going to be adding to it. They're going to make it into a supper club, which is something nice. It's not just opening up another nightclub on Staten Island because, you know, there's a lot of them out there and God bless everybody who tries, but it's a supper club. They're going to be doing a lot of different things. They're going to be doing all types of entertainment, jazz, comedy, dance nights.
Or even Latin night.
Latin night also.
We went there for dinner today.
It's going to be, and we were there for dinner today.
And let me explain to you something.
Wait, hold on.
Sauce.
So I went from Casanova's.
Yes.
It's actually still the Casanova, but it's going to be turned into Francesco's.
Right. Yes. And the reason why it's being called Francesco's is because the owners, his father's name was Francesco. And that's always very nice to carry on your father and family tradition. And it's really, really a nice place. He's did a lot of nice renovations in the place. It's a place to check out. And I think it's going to be great.
And we were there actually tonight for dinner. And I don't eat pork. No religious reason why, but I just don't eat pork.
Right.
But I tell you.
You had pork ossobuco, which
and
is different.
Here's the thing. I've gone to different places, and I'm not big on having spare ribs and stuff because it's messy. But he had mentioned to have this dish. I was going to have a steak, and he mentioned to have this, and we had the pork. And when I tell you, it fell off the bone. You didn't even need a knife, anything.
Well, if it doesn't, you don't eat it. If it doesn't,
well, I'm paying for it. I want to eat it.
No, but if you get ossobuco and it doesn't come off the bone just by pulling it, then don't eat it, because then
so
it's
what do I
tough.
do? If I go to a place and it doesn't come off the bone, I send it back?
You got to cut it with a knife, send it back.
Send it back. And I should tell the owners that Vinny told me to send this back.
No, you should know that, but
I should. Okay, very good.
What's great about this
act
place?
like you know. Don't say Vinny.
What's great about this place is it's a reasonable price.
Yes.
Right. You guys could go to any place on the island. I mean, there's so many places. Yo Toto's, Angelina's, all these places that exist. They're very bocce, very expensive. This place, it's not as.
It's reasonable.
Very reasonable, and the food quality is just
very good. You definitely get what you pay for.
And that's located where?
It's at 3555 Victory Boulevard.
And they're also having a grand opening pretty soon,
yes,
right?
the grand opening is coming up, and as I said, they're going to have a lot of different things. They're going to have. They're open 7 days a week. So you really have to check it out. It's a great place to be, and you're going to be part of it also.
Am I?
Yes, you are. You're going to be part of it also. And we're going to have Diane come down there, and then we also Vinny's part of it because somebody has to clean up. But we do have. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. We're going to get Rosemarie down there. We're going to get Terry down there. All the people from CTV, because they deserve a night out. They work very hard.
Why don't you do this? Invite the whole staff. Dinner on you. How's that?
So as I said, everybody's going to be there.
No, seriously. On air, I want you to go on air and say.
I would like to invite the whole CTV staff.
Even Joe Bazzina.
Okay, all right. We even for Joe, we'd like to have the whole staff come down for the grand opening, and we will make sure that Vinny takes care of the bill.
That's right.
Thank you, Vinny, and that's on air.
No, seriously, I mean that.
I mean it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they deserve it. All kidding aside, we like to joke, but a lot of the things we talk about different businesses and so forth. But CTV is a business that is not appreciated as much as it should be, because you have a lot of people that come in and they donate their time, and there's people that have been for so long, and all they keep trying to do is bring the best entertainment they can, and it's sometimes underrated. And I got to tell you the truth, one of the nicest things I've ever done in my life is been part of the CTV family. And thank you to Diane and of course you putting the show together, and Rosemarie and everybody behind the scenes. It's a great organization, and any way possible, if you can help out CTV, please look into it and do it, because it really is a great institution.
100%. 100%. So this Sunday, there's a big feast on 3rd Avenue, Brooklyn.
Yes,
It's been there for
it's
a while.
on every. They do what's called the Ragamuffin Parade every year on 3rd Avenue, and that's normally done on the Saturday. And then after that parade, the next day, they have the streets are blocked off, and they have bands, and they have clothing and different food and stuff. People can walk up and down, almost like a stroll, but to the next level.
And talk about volunteers. So there's a group of DJs that are going to get together.
Yes.
And they're going to volunteer their services to this feast that's going on 3rd Avenue.
I've been doing it a while.
And you've been doing it, how long have you been doing it for?
My first time was at the Pro Room, I think 1996.
1996, when you were 42.
When I was 28. No, it might have been 96. I might have been 40, 45.
So that's happening this Sunday, right? This Sunday?
So
yes, October 2nd.
After doing it for so many years, that we got together, and now we're doing it. And we get like 200 people in front.
And we
had to move down to the diner because the other people complained.
When you say diner, what's the name of the diner you're going to be
Bridgeview Diner.
The Bridgeview Diner.
On 3rd Avenue, right?
Yes.
The people complained that we blocked, they couldn't get through because there was so many people.
Because what happens is, obviously because of the love of music, and thank you to Vinny, and we tease Vinny, but Vinny's a really great guy, and there's nothing he ever does that he doesn't want to include people with. And he includes us in that, and he does a great job. And because when we first started doing it, it grew, because we do it for the music and the hustle dances. Everybody comes to where we're set up, and then it gets crowded so people can't walk. So we moved down to the Bridgeview Diner because it's more open space, and we'll be there on October 2nd. So if you have a chance, I know Rosemarie is going to come down, and she's going to hustle with me and Terry, and it's going to be a great time. And hopefully before we end the show this evening, we can get Rosemarie on here so you can put a face to the name, because she's a wonderful individual.
So when you say hustle, I mean, does she hustle?
Let me tell you something. She's got moves I haven't seen in years.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. She's very good at what she does.
So we're actually going to see this on.
We may see it tonight.
Absolutely.
We may see it tonight.
That'll be nice.
We may see it tonight.
Absolutely. So also tonight we're doing the mix cloud for the first time.
For the first time.
No, actually,
So,
it's our second
Yes,
time.
yes.
Second
And
time.
again, thank you to CTV, because they kept asking us to come back and do it again. So it's going to be a multi-show this evening, which I'm looking forward to. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, so ready to bring on our guest for the evening that you're so happy. I mean, listen, we're all happy.
We're all happy
to have her on the show.
Yes.
It was so hard. I mean, we've been trying for a couple of months now.
Yes, well, the thing is our guest this evening, again, each one of us at the panel, including the members of CTV, has different, we asked them if there's anybody you'd like to have on. And to me, this next guest I've known for such a long time, such a wonderful talent. She's been involved with Illusions back in the day,
right,
and so much. And she's so talented. Her husband, and when we started going over different guests, it popped into my head, how about this? And not one person on the panel said no, that's not good, or no, maybe not, or whatever. So we booked this beautiful young lady, and unfortunately we had to change the date because things came up and we had to change it. And you know, sometimes people that are of certain status, they get upset and they say, no, that's ridiculous, I'll get back to you. This woman is so humble and so gracious that, okay, no problem, just let me know. And that's how she's been her whole life.
Which is very rare.
It is very rare. It's very rare. So then we ended up giving her a call back and saying, how's this date? And she's just the best of the best. But because it is your show and you are the creator and the, what else can I say about you without throwing you on the floor and starting to make out with you? I don't want to make it look too bad on TV, but why don't you?
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Time out.
Put your hands together for the lead singer of the Toys, the one and only Barbara Harris. Here she comes.
There
Here
she
she
is. Look
comes.
at that. Look
Here
at
she
that.
comes.
Hi, guys.
How
What's
are you,
up?
Barbara?
What's up?
Now, Barbara, we're going to have you do a few numbers first to
Okay.
let the audience see what you do,
Right.
and then we're going to bring you on to talk to you.
Got it. All right.
Would you like me to hold that for you? You can put it right. You're on.
Yes,
You're on.
yes.
Well, first, I want to thank you guys for inviting me here tonight.
It's our
It's
pleasure.
a pleasure. Okay. And I just want to send this first song out to everybody out there. One of my favorite songs. Here we go. No New Year's Day to celebrate. No chocolate covered candy hearts to give away. No first of spring, no songs to sing. In fact, it's just another ordinary day. No April rain, no flowers bloom, no wedding Saturdays within the month of June. But what it is it's something true, made up of these few words that I must say to you. And sing it with me out there. I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much I care. I just called to say I love you. No summer's high, no warm July, no harvest moon to light one tender August night, no autumn breeze, no falling leaves, not even time for birds to fly to southern skies, no Libra sun, no Halloween, no giving thanks to all the Christmas joy you bring. But what it is so old, so new, to thrill your heart like no few words could ever do. Let's sing it again. I just called to say I love you. Oh, yes, I do. I just called to say how much I care. I just called to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. One more time. I just called to say I love you. Oh, yes, I do. I just called to say how much I care. You know I do. I just called to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart, of my heart. It's of my heart. I thank you so much. Okay. Now this next song, I call my wake-up song. And the reason why I call it my wake-up song is because if I'm not wide awake before I do it, I'm wide awake when I'm done. And we're going to take it back to the 60s. And here's a little group that they resurfaced again a few years ago on Broadway. And one of my all-time favorite groups, just as good as ever, the Young Rascals. All the world over, so easy to see. People everywhere just wanna be free. Listen, please listen, that's the way it should be. Peace in the valley, people got to be free. Yeah. You should see what a lovely, lovely world this would be if everyone learned to live together. It seems to me it's such an easy, easy thing this would be. Why can't you and me learn to love one another? I said, whoa, 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 yeah. All the world over, so easy to see. People everywhere just wanna be free. Can't understand, it's so simple to me. People everywhere just got to be free. Yeah. If there is a man who is down and needs a helping hand, all it takes is you to understand and to pull him through. Come on and oh, yeah. It seems to me we got to solve it individually, and I'll do unto you what you do to me. mountains, all down to the sea. No two ways about it, people got to be free. Ask me my opinion will be it's a natural situation for man to be free. Yeah, keep on pushing that. Chuck, 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 chuck. Wow, what it's feeling just come over me. It's enough to move a mountain, make a blind man see. Everybody's dancing, come on, let's go see. Peace in the valley, now we all can be free. All right. Gonna slow it down a little bit now. When I was growing up, my mother used to play all kinds of music, from gospel to blues to jazz, rock and roll. So I grew up listening to all the great artists and all the great songs and music. And this next song, she played it so much that I grew to love it also. And the lady that recorded it was truly a pioneer of American music, Miss Dinah Washington. What a difference a day makes. 24 little hours. For the sun and the flowers, where there used to be rain, my yesterdays were blue deep. Today I'm a part of you, dear. Are through, dear, since you said you were mine. Lord, what a difference a day makes. There's a rainbow before me, skies above can't be stormy. Since that moment of bliss, that thrilling kiss, it's heaven when you find romance on your menu. What a difference a day makes, and the difference is you. Thank you so much. I think I got it.
Barbara, I don't know. You got it the minute you walked in. You had it.
You still got it.
Tell you something. You never lost it.
You're making old girl
You
feel
never
good.
lost
Thank
it. You never lost it. Barbara, I got to tell you, first of all, wow. Wow, because you know what, I haven't had the pleasure to be around you in a lot of years.
Yes.
But when I picked up the phone and called you, it's like we just spoke yesterday.
Yes,
And that's the
that's
type
true.
of artist and person you are, because I don't know if you can capture it from watching it out there in television land. But this young lady is down to earth and pure, and it's an honor just to be in your company again. And thank you so much.
That's
thank
so
you.
Sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Same to you.
Thank you so
you know,
much.
all the years I've known you. And
Oh, well, you know, I'm a young man. It's only been 2 years.
that's
So.
right. You got it.
So, Barbara, let's start from the beginning. So you grew up in North Carolina. Right? Oh, is this-
Yeah, until
okay.
I was 10 years old
And
when I
then
came up to New York.
You moved to Queens?
Yes.
How was that? At what age were you when you moved from down? We call that down south,
Yes.
even though it's not really down south. But for us, it's down
It is,
south.
Yeah.
Going from down south to a big city,
Yeah.
right? Queens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How was that transition like?
It was pretty cool, pretty smooth for me. I had my cousins were up here, you know,
Okay.
so they sort of took me around, and you know, I felt at home, you know,
And
when
you were
I got
around,
up
what,
here.
10?
Yeah, I was about 10 years old.
About 7 years ago?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then I started going to school. I had a little difficulty going to school because they used to call me cornbread. You know?
Cornbread.
Yeah, Southern people.
That's like that's a Southern thing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They used to call me that, and I had one young lady who wanted to fight me. You know, I didn't like fighting, but when she hit my girlfriend, she pulled my girlfriend's jacket, and I got upset with her. So we fought, and I was pretty strong then, you know. So
Okay.
I hit her, and she fell down. And nobody bothered me after that.
That was it.
That was it. That's
care
all
of
I had to do to prove myself. They left me alone after that.
So growing up in North Carolina, your parents were into blues, gospel, jazz.
Yeah.
Now you moved to the big city, and the music was completely different.
Yes.
So
Somewhat, though. My mother played everything, so even up here, they had the same kind of music. Yeah.
so now you listened to top 40 music at the time.
Yes.
Mary Wells was big at the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. In fact, I used to do one of her songs.
Oh, really?
Well, bye-bye, baby. She had that one out. I loved that
What
one.
a talent.
And the other one, you beat me to the punch.
Yes.
Yeah. I used to imitate everybody.
So how did your parents feel like, I mean, your parents were into blues, gospel,
Yeah.
and you're singing Mary Wells. I mean, did they adjust? I mean,
They didn't want me singing at first.
At
They
all?
said, yeah, you go to school, go to college.
Most
this
parents
and
were that way.
Yeah, yeah. But when I got out of high school, well, we were still in high school when my manager came, and one guy discovered us and took us to our manager. But when he came to my house, he wanted to sign us up. And he said, can she have permission to sing? And they gave me permission.
Okay.
They didn't want me to do it, but they said, you know, she's talented, so let her go ahead and try it. So they let me sign up.
So before the Toys were brought together, you had a group called the Charlettes.
Charlotte's, yes.
Now,
That was in high school.
that was in high school. So you guys performed, did talent shows and stuff like that?
Uh-huh.
How did that go for
That's
you?
how we got discovered. There was a man named Eddie Chase. He became our road manager. But
Okay.
he saw us at a talent show, and he said, you girls want to sing professionally? Duh, yes we do. So he took us to New York City, to Bob Crew. Remember Bob Crew?
Yeah.
Bob
Sure.
Crew generation. Took us to him, and our manager, Vince, and the writers, Sandy and Denny. And they took us in the studio. And it was a funny story, though, because I wasn't the lead singer of the Charlettes.
Oh, really?
The other Barbara was, yes.
Okay.
And when they took us in the studio and tried everybody, the three of us singing. It was 5 of us at first, but two girls dropped out. But they tried each one of us, and they said, here, you sing this. And Barbara Toomer sang it first, and then June, she sang it, and then they said, okay, you do it. And I sang it, and they said, she's the one. You know, and I felt so bad because the other Barbara was the lead singer. I said, I'm not the lead singer. They said, no, but my voice was right for what they wanted,
Right.
you know, so. But I felt real bad because she was my friend.
How did your parents feel about that? I mean, going from the Charlettes, now you have this guy,
Right.
Eddie Chase?
Yeah, Eddie Chase was the manager, the road
So how
manager.
do your parents feel about that?
They let me do it, though. I don't think they cared for it that much, but
Right.
they let me do it. So I'm thankful for that.
And where
I got
did
a chance.
the name of the group, the Toys, come from?
From our manager, Vince Marchese.
And how'd you
That
feel
was his
about
name.
that? Because wait a second.
We didn't like it.
Hold on. You talk about the Charlettes, which I love the name Charlettes. And who came up with that name?
That was the other Barbara.
That was perfect name.
Yes, it was.
And then you go from the
Cute, right?
Charlottes to the Toys.
Toys, yeah.
Which was,
I know what you mean. We didn't like it when he came in and said, "Girls, how about the toys?" And we said, "No."
That's not
He
gonna
said,
work.
But you're so bubbly and you're so like little toys, you know. It's so happy. So we said, "Okay," we went with it,
Yeah.
you know. But
that's great.
yeah,
Well, you
yeah.
know what? Regardless of what the name was, your voice, then you could have been called anything because you have an impeccable voice. And when you came out with that song, which was, I never realized, I thought it was called, because my mom played it. I mean, I always heard it, How Gentle is the Rain, but that's really not the title.
Right.
The title of the song is Lover's Concerto.
Lover's Concerto, yeah.
And
a lot of people.
right.
And a lot of people
did that,
didn't
though.
realize that
That's
because the first notes of the song is How
Gentle is the
Gentle
rain.
is the
Yeah.
rain.
Yeah.
So that's what stuck.
Right.
And I tell you, it was always a part of my history. It was a song that always stood out, and even before I knew you, I wanted to know you
Oh,
from
that's
that
so
song.
sweet.
It's true.
It's so different at that time.
It was.
That's why I think
It
it,
was.
just caught
Did you
on, you
Shazam
know.
the song back then?
It was a great. There was listen, there was no Shazam, and you know what? You got to give her credit because in those days, everything was like I said this before on the show. I take nothing away from artists. I take nothing away from American Idol, all of America's Got Talent. But back in the days that you did that, that's all nonsense because unless you had it, there was no voting. You had to bust your you-know-what and continue, and you had a lot going against you, and you never let it
Yes.
stop you.
This
Yes,
was the
we
60s,
did.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, it was different, like the Temptation.
It just
If you
meant-
watch the Temptation story.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we're going to bring them on next week, but right now let's get back to Barbara Harris.
No, I'm just sorry. It was
I
difficult
know it
times.
was very difficult.
It wasn't easy for
time.
you.
We were in the South. I forgot what state, but the owner of the club, he thought we were white.
Right.
And when we came walking in, he said, "Oh no,
That ain't happening.
And
not
that's-
a woman in this club." You
And
know?
that's so hurtful because,
Yeah, yeah,
like I said, I'm going to keep saying this throughout the
Yeah.
show. You're looking at a woman she's just pure. And from the moment I met her, from the moment Tito met her, from the people that introduced us, Jeanette, I love Jeanette and Lauren. They're just
yes,
great people,
yes.
and thanks to them, we were able to meet you, and
Right.
and everything they said about you was true. It's very rare to hear things and stories about people, and then when you meet them, it's 100% true. And I'm glad your spirit has
God is good to me.
never dwindled. I'm glad
God
you.
is good to me.
So Barbara,
Yes, he
this
is.
song, I love this concerto. Did you write the song? Oh.
No, there were two writers. In fact, they wrote for the Four Seasons.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
They wrote Native New Yorker. That
Oh, for
song.
Odyssey.
Yeah. They wrote for a few other, The Invitations, Jay and the Techniques, Apple, Peaches, Pumpkin
Yes,
Pie.
yes.
They wrote a lot of stuff. But when we came to them, they did all of our material.
Which is crazy is that the song went to #2 on the U.S. Billboard charts.
On the Billboard.
Right,
It was
and on Cashbox, #1.
Yeah.
And not only in the States,
Yeah.
overseas, it went to #2.
Yeah. I was getting
That
mail
was-
from all over
Yeah.
Yugoslavia.
Isn't that great? I mean, what was the
That was
feeling? What was the
great.
feeling like to have a
so-
song?
yeah.
I mean, how was it listening to the song for the first time on the radio?
Oh,
What was
boy.
that feeling like?
Oh, that was so great. Oh, well, the first time we heard it, we were traveling down south with our road manager in the car, and they played it, and we told him, "Stop the car." I was on the highway. He pulled over. We jumped out and started cheering.
Just grooving, right?
That's
That is great.
And then one time I was walking in the supermarket with my mom, and she said, "Isn't that your record?" I said, "Yeah." She was like, "Oh my God!" She
Isn't
got
that
so
great?
excited. Yeah.
What a great
I
feeling.
felt good. Yeah.
And then
I said,
we
"Whoa."
go to 1966. And then another song comes out, which is called
Oh, Attack, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that song goes to number 18.
Yeah, it
Which
was
is-
actually number 10.
Did it go to, okay.
Yeah, number 10.
Okay.
And I liked that one better. I really did. I liked the 10.
Really?
Yeah.
But
It was-
also internationally,
it's nice.
from what my notes, I mean, from my research, number 36 in the UK.
Yeah,
I mean,
it didn't do as well. And the reason why was because we came back too late from overseas. They
Okay.
kept us over there, and we should have been back in the studio right
Okay.
after Lover's Concerto. The writers were arguing with the manager, and he just said, well, they'll be back soon. But he kept us over there a whole month. So we lost all that time putting out the second, the album. We didn't get a chance to put it right out like we should have. That's the way it worked.
Throughout this whole process, you had lawyers, or I mean, back in the day, probably didn't know much about lawyers and stuff.
We had
mechanical royalties and stuff like that.
Yeah, we had an accountant, and he was working with our manager.
Okay, so
there you go.
The manager.
There you go.
They got us. They got us real good. They got us.
Yeah.
Not easy.
But we didn't know any better.
No, it's a classic story. The artist.
Well, you were having a good time.
Yeah, we were having a good time. Traveling all over and glitter and the glamour, we were all happy.
Did you raise children at that time, or you had children?
Yeah, well, yes, I did. I had one daughter when I first got into it, and then I stopped after the record cooled down a bit. I stopped and had more children. I had
It's not easy.
4 altogether.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, were any of your children interested in following in your footsteps?
Nah.
No?
They danced though, but one of my sons sang really good. The oldest boy, between Kenny's children and my children, the oldest boy we had together, he was a good singer, but he chose to play football. So he just stopped singing. and in high school, he went to Fort Richmond High.
Okay.
He was one of the best, most valuable player.
Yes.
He won the big statue,
MVP.
And then went to CW Post.
Oh, nice.
And he was on the football team. Didn't want to sing anymore.
That was it. That was.
He was
Not
such a
an
good
easy
singer.
life.
And as you said with Kenny, also it's very rare because we've had the pleasure of meeting Kenny, your husband, and it's like a carbon copy. You guys complement
yeah.
each other.
Oh,
he's another
yeah.
humble man. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's my better half. I
There you
call him
go.
my better half.
There you go.
And he's
So
out there in the
good.
audience.
He
right?
is.
Yeah, he's so
We'll
good
try to
to
squeeze
me.
him out here on the
So
camera.
we go.
in a little while.
he won't
The
come.
same year of Attack, you come out with Baby Toys.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which was also a Billboard chart hit.
Yeah. Baby
Top
Toys.
100, right?
That was really.
And then we go to
I didn't
1968.
like that one. Yeah.
We go to 68,
68.
Sealed with a Kiss.
Oh, I love that one. Oh, that was by different people on a different label, and it was just
Was
so
that,
That was the Toys?
great.
No, that was
the
Toys with Music Core, right?
Music Core,
That's
yeah,
right.
Music
yeah,
Core,
different
yeah.
people. Helen and I forget her name. They wrote that. Well, they didn't write it, but they produced that.
That was a song that was remade. It's a
Brian
remake, right?
Hyland, I think, was the
Right.
the
And
original.
on the Billboard, that made 100.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Listen, but on the R&B chart, it went to 43.
Really, I didn't even
Yeah.
know that.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, it did.
Wow, it was a hot song. Even today when I hear it, it is hot. I was going to put it back in my show.
I know we're going to, now, unfortunately, one of the people you're missing this evening, which would have loved to meet you, is Benny, who's our MC. He's the voice of the show. He had to go to Florida, but normally he calls out because we have a lot of people watching the show right now on Facebook. We're also on Facebook Live. Now, there's one channel I just want to say real quickly, if you don't mind, Tito.
Go ahead.
This is, I'm going to tell you the name at the end. Hello, Barbara, from the Fireflies. You were mine. And
yeah.
you and I used to sing karaoke at Casino Dinopolis 9 years ago. Mr. Nicky Sticks
Oh, yeah.
is reaching out to you to tell you that. So.
Oh, I send my love to him.
Yes,
Tell him.
yes.
Oh, boy. Those were the good old days.
So
we had some good times.
So having all these hits, seriously, you also did television.
Well, we did a lot of, the
Right.
shows of that day, yeah.
And one of the biggest shows you did was Dick Clark's American Bandstand.
Oh, that was the first one. Yeah, when the record broke, they sent us to Philadelphia to do that. That was the first show.
Now, how was that?
Oh, that was
Tell us
great.
about that experience.
He was such a great host. Oh, he was nice. Very nice man. He made us feel at home because we were scared. First TV show, he says, just relax, you'll be all right. We was like really scared. And then the audience, they made us feel relaxed.
Right.
You know, they started dancing around us, so we just started doing our thing. And that was great. The first show we ever did.
Can you imagine
the first
that?
TV show, yeah.
That's probably on YouTube. Have you ever went back to YouTube and see if
I
you
don't
can
know
find
if
the
it's
show?
there anymore.
It's gotta be.
It's got to be.
It's gotta be there.
You'll find it.
Yeah.
And then there was a cameo you did a cameo in one of the movies that came out in 1967, one of those beach movies.
Yeah, the girl in Daddy's bikini. And then
Was that you?
I think they changed the name to It's a Bikini World or something like that, you know? And that was weird too, because nobody was out there in the audience. And they had us up at 6 o'clock in the morning. We had to be on the set. And when we saw the movie, all these people around us, that was really cute. Nobody was there. It was really quiet in the studio.
That had to be a great experience. I mean, you had top hit songs on the Billboard charts. You're doing guest appearances on television, and then a cameo role in 1967.
Right. It was nice.
It was nice, right?
I've been blessed. I thank God.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But then there comes a time in your life you say, you know what? I had enough. I think it's time to, you know, devote more time with family. Yeah. I stopped for a while too, and had the rest of my children, and met my husband, he was playing the bass. First he was playing the drums, and then went to the bass, and he was in a blues band, and I went to see him one night, and they asked me to come up and sing a song. So after they asked me if I would join their band, so I got into the blues. And,
well, he had other ideas besides just the band.
It was so nice, though.
There are groups today, or yourself, that make what you made in the '60s in one day, what you made in a year.
Yeah.
Imagine that now.
That's right.
But then again, the cost of living and things were different back then. So it was, and the thing is, you also made your parents proud, because they were skeptical, like all parents are. And even though, see, parents always tend to feel their children are great at what they do, but don't want to subject them to the world, because the world is harsh, and it's only got harsher.
You're right.
But you went out there and you did a wonderful thing, but not to take away from your husband. Let's go back to that story. So he's playing the blues, and you changed his blues into a smile.
He's got away with words.
Oh, yeah. He is such a, and he don't like for me to say this, but he is such a great man. You know, he's my second husband, and just great. He does everything for me. I know he's with me 100%, you know, and I just love him to death. He don't even, I don't tell him enough. I should tell him more.
Oh, he knows.
Well, this show is being recorded.
Such a great guy.
And anytime you guys have an argument, just play the show back.
I will. That's a good idea. Good idea.
So you decided to leave the entertainment world, start a family.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But you still do concerts. You do.
I was doing
special appearances.
Yeah.
Local places.
And now, if I can go up to now,
sure.
We, my husband and myself, we do senior facilities during the week.
Beautiful.
Okay.
You give back.
Oh, I love that.
Beautiful.
Oh, I love it. It's so rewarding to me. Well, they've been locked down for so long now, too, and they're starting to open up again, because before the pandemic, we were doing so many of them. I didn't know there were so many places in New Jersey.
It's a shame.
Well, 55 and older, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so many places, and they kept calling us. One would hear, and they said, "Oh, we heard about you. Could you come and do our show?" And, you know, we were working all the time, and it stopped when the pandemic came, but then now they're opening up again. We're getting calls like that again. I love it. I love it. It's so appreciative, you know.
And you know,
used to do.
in our business, because we love music, as you do, and one of the things that I hope we're giving to the audience that watches is when you hear a certain song, it brings you back to a certain place in your life.
Yeah.
And ever since I met you many years ago, when I hear your song, it brings me back to us meeting and how wonderful you are. So I'm hoping that the next time people hear that song or anything you do, thanks to Tito and his production and what he put together, that these people say, wow, that's even if they never met you before, that's that beautiful woman who brings us back to that place when they watch the show. Humble, just like your husband.
And still, what a voice.
Oh,
thank you.
You still got it.
You haven't. Listen, you're like a fine wine. You get better with age.
I keep trying. Thank you. Thank you.
So we're gonna do I mean, we're running out of time, so would you be able to do one more song for us?
Oh, sure.
We will
I
love
think
to.
she has a couple.
Okay.
But even before you go, we had a place together, and we did different things. It was successful, and again, everything the man does is successful, thank God. And we had what's called a karaoke contest, which we were always against, because when you have a place, the people that don't win get mad at you.
Yeah.
So we said, you know what, we got to come up with an idea. Would have a panel of judges, and the first thing that came to our mind was have Barbara Harris as one of the judges. And you know, as a judge, when you looked at her, after you could have had 1,000 singers. After every singer, Bob, what do you think? I liked it. Bob, what do you think? I liked it. So you know what? You were also very politically correct back then. Okay, so that was very good.
So guys, before we leave, we're going to leave off with this. You're going to sing your #1 hit.
In 1965, we used to stop on the street corner coming home from school, and we would sing. Go in the park bathroom where there was a nice echo, made your voice sound real pretty. Some of you know what I'm talking about. We stayed for hours, and I'd gotten a lot of trouble because my mother, I was supposed to have dinner ready. By the time my mama got home from work, I was late every day, and I burned up a lot of food trying to get it ready before she got home. But we started going to New York City on Broadway, and we would back up anybody who needed help on their records. In those days, it was Dionne Warwick, Lloyd Price, Diane Renee. All we wanted to do was make a little money for ourselves. But that's where we met that guy with the big cigar. You know that guy that said, "Come here, little girls. I'm going to make you a star." Well, that's not really what he said, but something like that. Anyways, we went in the studio. They gave us 4 songs, and we went in the recording studio, and one of the songs we didn't care for, we said, oh, that sounds like a school song, and we wanted to be hip. So we did that one time and put it away. The other 3 we worked on forever, trying to get it perfect. But do you know when they released those songs, guess what happened? The one we didn't care for went straight to #1. And we said, get out of here. We couldn't believe it. But I thank God, I thank you for making it happen. The name of the song is A Lover's Concerto, taken from a concerto piece by Bach. They put a Motown beat to it, came up with this song. 2 young gentlemen from Livingston, New Jersey. How gentle is the rain that falls softly on the meadow. Birds high up in the trees serenade the flowers with their melodies. Oh, see, there beyond the hill, the bright colors of the rainbow. Some magic from above made this day for us just to fall in love. And now I belong to you from this day until forever. Just love me tenderly, and I'll give to you every part of me. Oh, don't ever make me cry through long, lonely nights without love. Be always true to me. Keep this day in your heart eternally.
I've had the honor of being around a lot of big names. Oh, there you go. Now get that. I got to tell you, I've never had such an experience than being with you. You bring me back to a time, and you're my friend. You're my friend, and that's something that, and I can't thank you enough. And when I called Tito up, because we always try, like I said before, we try to get people for the show, and there's a lot of people out there, and people call us. And I said, Tito, how about Barbara Harris? The man didn't even blink an eye. He goes, really? She'd do it?
Thank you,
like
guys.
It's our honor, and thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having me. I wanted to plug one show that I'm doing on Staten Island.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got to say this, La Rocco Enterprises.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's going to be at Victory Boulevard at a church, Episcopal church. And it's on October 15th, I believe. I left my notes inside.
Which is a
We'll just
Saturday.
do that. Yeah.
Well, how can people check out what you're doing and where you'll be? How about telling them that?
Go to my site, Barbara, B-A-R-B-A-R-A, at Barbara's Toys, one word, .com. It's better. I got .net and .com. But .com.
Okay, and they can check out
Barbara
everything's coming.
at barbarastoys.com.
And they get your music. If they want to download your music, they go over to that site.
Yeah.
And you have to promise me at some point just to come down one night where I'm at, just to have a nice time. And Jackie Schaefer, who we love,
My buddy.
He keeps telling me, Rhett, I'm bringing Barbara down, and not knowing that we already have a friendship. And is there any way we can have your husband come out for a second, because we're running out of time, just to come out for 1 second and let them see you.
He won't do
He's
it.
waving, no.
He's waving.
Come on, come out 1 second.
He's
Come on,
waving.
the man behind
He's
the-
in the
You don't have to
background,
say
guy.
nothing. Just come out. Just come out for 1 second, please. At this point, if anybody can come out and pretend to be her husband, they'll never know. Come on out. Here he comes. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to, just to put the face to this beautiful woman. Come over here, young man. Come on, here he comes.
you
That's
thought
very
you were gonna
rare.
get away.
Very rare. Come on behind. Come on behind. This is rare. Come over here. I'm going to give up my seat. No, I want to give up my seat. You sit right here. Go ahead. Sit down next to your significant other.
Next to this one?
Yes,
I don't
please.
know.
Please. There you go. Have a seat, please. There he is. There he is. There he is. That's all right. Listen.
That's my job.
Come up here. Come up
I'm
here.
thankful, though.
You come up here. You come up here. There he is. And a pleasure also to know you.
Oh,
It's a
Yeah, we
blessing.
go back
It's
a
blessing.
long way.
And thank you for keeping her on her toes.
Yeah, he does, believe me.
that's a
He
struggle.
does. He don't mean it. He don't mean it.
He never makes appearances. He's always in the background.
I'm busy as heck just trying to. Oh, you know.
Let me check her. When's the next child?
Oh, well, we got 15 grand. Well,
There you go. That'll do.
Matter of fact, we have
15?
1 grand
That'll
missing.
do.
15 grandkids?
Another one on the way.
God bless, and congratulations.
Coming, that's right.
And more
He's
coming.
not even married yet. So.
Congratulations.
There you go.
All sizes, shapes.
That's great. That's
If you need one.
no. I have two. I'm good.
There you go. He's going to sing a song right now. Nobody knows.
That's about all I could do.
It's been a pleasure, you guys. It's been a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Well, no, we can't tell
Okay.
you what to do. It's up to her. Can he leave now?
Oh, sure. It's over here. Go.
You know,
How about a kiss on camera? Show the love. Show
I
the
gotta
love.
tell you, today is his birthday.
Today is your birthday.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
happy
All
birthday
right.
to him.
Come on, guys.
Let's under 2 minutes. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, my God.
Happy birthday to you. Take it, Barbara.
Happy birthday, dear Kenny.
Oh, my goodness.
Happy birthday to you. God bless you.
Kenny, God
Thank you
bless.
so much.
Happy birthday.
But
Very nice.
I tried to tell her we're not celebrating it this year. It was in the papers. You didn't read it, no? Huh?
No, not yet.
You was checking.
Well, listen, Kenny, all I have to say is when you do celebrate it, Kenny, send me the video. All right, very good.
What a sport. What a sport.
Yeah.
So again, thank you, Barbara,
Well,
so
thank
much.
you.
Seriously, I mean, like,
Thank you, guys.
growing up, like you growing up in North Carolina, where your parents listened to gospel, jazz, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up listening to stuff like, because my parents played yo music, you know, all the 50s and 60s music,
Oh, yeah.
and it just
That was the
they just don't make music like that.
They don't. It's so beautiful.
They don't make people like this
so
anymore.
great.
Yes,
That's why I went out there that day. We were protesting, taking CBS, you know.
Oh, that-
I went out. I mean,
Wait, that's another story.
Okay.
When they changed to Jack. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh my God, we were saying Jack is whack. Jack is whack.
But
Jack
you know what?
is whack.
And thank you for going out there and protesting, because that station didn't last too long.
Yeah,
For those who don't know, they
yeah.
took what, CBS FM? Was
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
and they
CBS.
changed the whole format
Yeah.
to a new concept called Jack.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was I forget what year that was,
Yeah.
but
Me too.
and it just destroyed the whole.
They took the 50s music
Right,
out, and that
right.
was some of the greatest
Right.
music.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
this is because of satellite radio, too.
No, it wasn't even that. It just.
Yeah, no.
But anyway, Barbara, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And we would love to have you
Appreciate
back.
Definitely.
Sure, let me know,
Definitely.
and I'll definitely try to come back again.
Facebook Live, CTV. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you pretty soon. Love you guys, and have a great night.
God
Thank
bless.
you.
Thank you.
NYC Live Productions with Mixcloud. Son of the show tonight was Red J. Red J, great set, brother. And then yours truly came on second, Tito T, and then Vinny. Thank you so much, Terry at CTV. Mixcloud, thank you for joining us tonight. Again, we came live tonight from CTV, and we're going to be doing this once a month on CTV. On Facebook, actually, we do it every week, but on CTV, we do it once a month. And shout out to, actually, prayers go out to Puerto Rico, Santo Domingo, with the Hurricane Fiona, and now Hurricane Ian. Just hit Cuba, going over to Florida. So praise God to all the Cubans. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Shout out to Terry, once from CTV, Rosemarie, Joe Messina. Thank you guys so much. Barbara Harris. If you guys didn't catch the show earlier on NYC Live, go to YouTube and you'll see the show that just happened this evening with the one and only Barbara Harris of the Toys. Don't forget, this weekend at Nuvo, DJ Vinny T and Blazer One. And you guys are doing a fundraiser for Autism Warriors, right? We got, we have Raina. You have Raina, right? Raina on the show. We have, you can't make this stuff up, guys. Seriously. We got Raina on the show. We have Cynthia coming down. We have Nice and Wild Diamond Girl. Benny, where are you? Seriously. The Venutos, Angelo and Maria Venuto. Also, Vinny Meduno's coming on. He's the MC for the night. Guys, Blazer One, DJ Blazer One, and Vinny T will be there. That's this Saturday at Club Nuvo. And coming, grand opening of Francesco's. Check it out. Thursday night with this man, Red J, the Entertainers Night at the new Francesco's. Originally was Casanova, and now turn over to Francesco's, happening October 21st. Guys, once again, thank you so much for sharing. We love you guys. We'll see you next week at Vinny's studio. Thank you, CTV, for having us. Have a great night. We love you. God bless.
is thick, dirty. I've been through a lot, but I'm still flirty. Is everybody back up in the building? It's been a minute, tell me how you're healing.
Wow, what a show, guys.